Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep, welcome back to the map editor, and welcome back to this island. What we have been making, we have added the biggest shipwreck we can get away with on this island. We've also added shipwrecks underwater, bits and pieces to create a story in the world, as if there is a reason for this thing to be here, which there isn't, because we just placed it there because it looks cool. We also started working on the beach. We've added some bits and pieces to the beach, these palm trees, some rocks and some foliage, things you would find in nature. We've also added this big ass tree. It is 3 trees to make a tree bigger than itself. A small palm tree for scale. We didn't have a banana, and then we also created this tiny island, spent a ridiculous amount of time creating it, and it is a tiny island. It's lovely, but also quite small. You wouldn't want to sleep there overnight because you might, well, roll into the sea. It is that small. If we look in this direction, we can see, well, it's actually quite beautiful. I have no problem with this. We can see the bow of the ship has actually had an effect on the beach, which is what we are all about, but we can still, if we go underwater, get into the boat, unless the game decides to put coral there or something, which it tends to do. That's not an issue for us. That would be an issue for the player. Speaking of which, the rest of the island is completely unmade, undone. This is, in fact, the first island that the map creator gave us. We didn't bother going to terrain, clicking on the cog and hitting generate. Well, actually, generate island at the top. There's lots of buttons. Don't get them confused. Just generate island, and well, create random islands if you're not happy with the one that you've got. If we did that now, we'd lose everything, so we're not going to do that. If you are watching this as these go out, you will know that update 0.70 main is out at the moment, and we are actually using the experimental version, which is still on 0.60.01, which is a lot of numbers, but it means we're in the unusual situation where the version of the game that we're using is actually behind the main version, which is kind of strange. The main version just adds a bunch of all the stuff that we were currently using, so that's not a problem. But it also adds figs, which is not a problem unless we got a dietary issue, and it fixes a bunch of achievements. So we're not really missing much, I don't think. Yeah, if you're here for the map editor bit, we are using W, S, A, and D to move. We're using Q to go down, E to go up. We are holding the right mouse button to pan around. And if we click on an object, we can, there we go. We can press T to transform, R to rotate. C would be clone, but I'm not going to, well, let's do clone. All right. C to clone, delete to delete. And that's about everything that you need to know. We have a toolkit to the side. We have the terrain tools, which we've already largely used, so you have to watch an earlier video for those. And we also got the objects here. We need a door to work out player scale, because, you know, there's no ragdoll that we can just drag in for the player. We're also going to need some rocks. Last time we were messing around with Cliff 6. Now what I want to do is blank off areas of the island to make it a little bit more interesting for the players. They're going to have to walk around stuff. They're going to have to use their legs. Do players like using their legs? Probably not. So we're going to take Cliff 6, which if we press T and drag it into the sky, whoa, we will know that it's open on the bottom. So we can't use it in certain directions. Also the camera jerks around a lot in the map editor. It is something that you will get used to. It's a thing. It's a thing. It speeds up and slows down depending on its proximity to objects, and there's no way of stopping that happening. So we either put up with it or we are saddened by it. So I'm just going to put this down, rotate it a little bit. I'm going to press C to clone it, press T to transform, grab the red toggle. There we go. Boop, and then boop. And then rotate a little bit. Oh, what are you doing? I am blocking off this area. Why? Well, because why not? Why not? Yeah, what I want is to block off this area here, but also make a path through there. So we're going to have to be a little bit careful in the way we do this. Going to have to move it back to give us some space, but distance in the map editor is very, very difficult to judge by eye. We can throw the door in, we can throw a boat in. we have a big boat. But this is actually quite a big island. It looks tiny when there's nothing on it, but it is a very, very big island. So we can hit T, drop that down. Now I don't want to drop it down too much because I do want this to be a barrier. But at the same time, yeah, it's very hard to judge here. So we've got a little wall. It's curved slightly around this area here. We're going to throw a load of foliage down. That's okay. I want this here. I'm going to press R to rotate. I'm going to press T, transform. I'm just going to move this back here. There we go. Just a little zigzaggy. That's better. That's better. R to rotate, and you hold that Q to go down. Grab the blue, rotate it on an angle. Just T, and then drop U, and just line up this end piece thusly. Excellent. It's almost as if we know what we're doing. Clef 4 can come in and then drop down. Wow, there we go. And we have blocked off that area there. Now, what I need is like a path through here. Are we seeing a path through there? Not really. Not really. But we can do other things to remedy that. So we'll drop that down there. And this is the way we remedy things. What are you doing? You've ruined it for everyone. I know. Beautiful, isn't it? Excellent. So we're using these cliff pieces just to block in huge areas of rock. And it's excellent. These things are quite good. The sea stacks out at sea. Also, there's just bits of rock that jut up. Now what we've done is we've created a path through there that's not big enough to get 2 droids through. So what we need to do is move that out a little bit. There you go. Now you can get your droid through there. Excellent. And that's not a... You know what? It's whatever you want to make it. It's whatever you want to make it. I'm just going to move this in a little bit. It doesn't need to be that far out either. Excellent. Brilliant. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. But you've made this ugly ass pile of rocks. I know. It's excellent, right? No, it looks like an ugly ass pile of rocks. Oh, you're gonna make me do something with it. Okay, so we're gonna find it. Well, actually, we can click on terrain, then objects, so we don't actually have anything selected. Oh, by the way, if you have the objects toolbox open and you can't select something for whatever reason, just tap T on the keyboard. Sometimes if you delete something, it gets stuck in like delete mode, but it's not delete mode. It's really weird. And if you have something selected, terrain and objects buttons will just deselect everything so you don't accidentally move anything. We want shipwreck 3A. Boop. That gives us an excellent idea of scale. But not if we zoom out too far, because the LOD version in the game just doesn't exist after a while, which is an issue. So 3A, fine. And we're going to go to foliage. I think this is, this is big enough, right? We're going to click on trees. We are going to click on, I'm going to find a ficus. Now the old ficus model I really liked. It's still, it's here as a picture still. That's not the old ficus model. That's the new one. Yeah, copse of ficus. Oh, copse of cur. No. This one, ficus tree 2. Whoa, some serious foliage action going on there. As you drag stuff out of the toolkit, the first time it will clip and follow terrain. It'll follow terrain. There we go. And it just... It's great. Once you let go, that's it. You don't get that feature anymore. I don't know why. There's no way to turn it back on. Which is... now all we have are these 3 toggles. And it's... I don't know. I wish there was a way of turning it back on. I don't know how to turn it on. Or off. So we'll do this. Now, what I'd like is it to sort of go across the path. Oh, that's the other thing. Yes, once we let go, sometimes it selects a different object, and it's a heck of a hard time. Nope, that's rock. Alright, you know what? We'll move that out of the way so that we can try and select the tree. So yeah, you got multiple objects. There's no way of tabbing through objects. It's very difficult, very difficult. So we're doing this. What we should do is go down here and terrain objects, find a door, PQRSD, not under trees, it ain't. Structures, door. Oh, I wonder how big a human's going to be when he walks through here. Well, it's kind of assuming they're all dudes, but yeah, cool, that's how big they're going to be. We are going to press T and just slide this forward, and then, that's a C stack. Right, move him back. What are we doing? I don't know. We're moving this forward, back, forward. We can select the door easier than we can select a big ass tree. Now you know your world is broken. I literally can't select the tree. This is difficult, vexing and frustrating. Right, there we go. Sliding back. Is that going to be good enough for what we need it to be? Not really. I kind of need it to be a little bit more over. So we'll hold blue. And you can see it jumping to something else. There's no way to lock onto an object and just say, this is the only one I want to manipulate, game. And the game's like, oh, well, I didn't know you wanted to do that. I thought I'd select this handy rock. And I'm like, mate, if I wanted to select that rock, I'd have said, game select rock. Oh, that'd be great. Voice controls. And now I can't select the tree. I legitimately can't select the tree. Oh. There we go. There we go. So we'll drop him down. Okay, we still got the tree selected. So we're kind of okay. Still okay. This is kind of working. Nope. Selected rock. Okay, well, whatever. That tree now lives there. You live there, tree. I don't even. Trees. Okay, we are going to need another ficus. But you're using the same model. Oh, well, they only give us 2 freaking big ficuses. That one and the other one. And I honestly, I still prefer the old one because it had that big branch that you could use to go over a beach. It was a pretty tree. You know, as trees go. So we want this one. We're going to hit terrain and objects a second. So we don't have any rocks selected. We need the same thing on the other side, basically. Do we need to do it like this? There's a question. And then rotate until we find a nice branch. A branch that we can use? There we go. But that's going to look a little bit weird. Yeah, it will do. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So we'll drop that down like so. Yeah, it does look very strange. It just looks like two trees and they're all kind of chilling either way of the thing. And it's just like, well, yeah, I know. But how do we fill that in a way that's kind of not going to look strange? Glad you asked that question. Ficus tree. Train on objects first. Yeah, there we go. And then we're going to drag something and just slam it in there. Ooh, do we want to do it like this? We do, but we're going to need to rotate it first. There we go. And then press T, and then down. Suddenly, that's a lot better, because we just filled in the gap that was in the middle. You see, trees will grow away from each other. They will always grow towards the light, but if there's more than one of them, they will try and grow away from each other in order to get to the light. So you know that. You know that you can do certain things. What have we got here? Oh no. Okay, we got that back. I want you over here. Thank you. So we can do that. Press T and then grab that down into the rock. How far down can we go? About there. There you go. That's a lot better. It's a lot better. We need some colour. I think some colour would be excellent here. So let's grab something with just a little colour. But you can see that at all times of the day. What if a player manages to get up there? If a player manages to get up there, GG. I mean, that's kind of an interesting little thing. So we need a couple of something like that. We don't need any more ficus up there. We just want some like flavor. There you go. Chop that down into the rock. It is not so much of a problem here because the player's unlikely to either get up there. I don't think they can mantle up there. It's not, yeah, not an issue unless they actually build something to climb up there. Yeah, we're not too worried about people finding our little secrets. What we do need is a little bit of colour. So about there, I guess, and then push that down. So what we've done is we've created a little stack which is full of trees, and it breaks up the island, but it also adds a little bit of shelter, a little bit of interest as you're running underneath, using full sprint towards this boat. Wait a second, it's almost as if you planned it. Oh, did I? Terrain objects. That's cool. I wonder what it looks like if we went the other direction. Let's see if we do that. Hello, door. You're a human player. We're running along the beach being a human player. Oh, we see the boat again, but it's at a slightly different angle, and it still looks pretty freaking impressive. Yeah, no, that's just... Don't worry, it's been a bit of a long week. Did I say it's been a long week? Because it's been a totally long week. Yes, this little area of green here, I want to put lots of trees and stuff on there. I also want to put lots of trees over here, but we're going to need to build some things so the players can climb up that, because the trouble with putting a wall in without an obvious way to climb up it, it's kind of, it's a thing. It's a thing that shouldn't really exist. So we have a path here, we have a line of sight here, we have a line of sight here, two different lines of sight, and they look directly onto the bow of this thing. This with oh, we deleted the door, but is still very, very big. It's quite an impressive thing, especially once we're in the game and the water is subject to, well, just the world. You have a storm going on, you have different weather effects going on, you have different lighting going on. It's kind of an impressive thing to look at, so we want to draw people's attention to it. We're also going to need to carry on with the foliage idea across the cliff top, but here we need some stuff, so we're going to replicate what we've done over there over here, essentially. So we are breaking up the world. So we're going to need rocks, we're going to need to go close that off, hit rocks, big rocks, thank you, excellent. Hit rotate, and then T to transform. That's not the way, that's an optical illusion, because we're dual wielding shields right now. What was it Canadian lumberjack? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if anyone's seen Unforgotten Realms. That's the thing. It's a thing that existed a while ago, and it was good. It was very good. It doesn't exist so much these days. It's from the early days, the Escapist. There we go. So we're just adding some rocks around here, just to break up the ground. So we don't need the cliffs. Just adding a few rocky boys, because, well, it just helps kind of explain the terrain. Because why would we not do that? So T. Oh, yeah, we're gonna need to be a little bit careful here. I don't really want to brush around too much this episode, just because I feel we've probably done it a little bit too much. And sometimes it's nice to work with what you got. Sometimes it's friggin' awful, and I wouldn't recommend it. But sometimes it is nice to work with what you got, and that's what we're doing. So we can also add some rocks over here, rather than the very end. Don't need to do much, just put them in the ground so they look kind of cool. Just on the peninsula. And then something like this. Just at the sea. With a little rotate, and a little transform. And there we go. Excellent. Nobody's none the wiser. It looks like it's supposed to be there. We have these rocks, we have these cliffs, and everything's like, oh, it suddenly starts freaking fitting in. It actually doesn't look too bad. Yeah, surprising that. Trees. Picus again, obviously. We could put pine in, but let's not do that for the time being. It's not. I like pine trees. They're big, but they don't really fit here. We can put them on the main island. I don't mind. They're cook pines. If anyone wondered, you can look them up on Wikipedia. They do exist, and they are very big. So ficus tree, not you. Although you probably do. We do need something for structure, so we'll just grab the big one. Drag him down into the ground to make him a lot. I mean, we can make him infinitely lower, but these branches start getting in the way. We don't want to bash anyone's heads. Rotate. We'll put that one that way. Rotate it over a little bit. Yep, we definitely want something over the beach to break the beach up. And then C to copy. And then use the green ring to rotate, key to transform, and we're going to put these two in each other as much as we can. Red, you are here. T. Nope, R. Let's rotate. There we go. And on the green, so these branches are not quite touching each other, but it's kind of hard to tell. T to transform. That's better. That's better. Maybe a little rotate just to move that around. Yeah. Oh, but wait a second. Yeah, I already got it. I got it. That's fine. That's fine. We're okay. We've blocked this line of sight to the island. We can put some stuff here, which isn't a problem. Terrain objects again. So here maybe. What are the ficus trees we got? Breakable. Breakable. Not breakable. Then this one, which I think is not breakable. So we'll drop that down into the ground a little bit. Do a little rotate on them. Pull them back. Go that way a little bit. Just there we go. There we go. And we're going to need another one, maybe. Something, terrain and objects again, just on the end, maybe? Yeah, just, so I'd like a copse of trees, if that's kind of cool. Rotate. So the rotating is important because we're using the same model. What we don't want is these things to look like they are the same model. So we're going to jam these things down at different heights as well. Oh, that's the rock, which is in the background. Can we... Oh no, we've done it again. We've done it again. We've done it again. There it is. Drag that all the way down. There we go. Yeah, I'm just going to check this rock, make sure it's still a rock. It's still a rock. Well, that's excellent. I'm glad that's the thing. So what about line of sight? It's very important for us. So... we've still got the ends up poking out. It's not... There we go. There we go. Yeah. So I don't want to go too crazy with that. What we'll do is we'll add some stuff here. Do we need a driftwood pile? Not necessarily. Let's turn objects a second, just so we don't drag anything around. That will be a pain in the butt. These bushes for structure, yeah, I mean... We won't for the time being. Whoop, we just pushed the camera through everything, just while our brain was going, ooh, what about this? And I'm like, that's a little, it's fine. PP plant. We're going to need somewhere where it's actually in the sun. If you add stuff like this, because it's quite a low-lying plant. Not on the rock. Well, no, the rock's got an LOD value, so move them there. Make sure you got your anti-poison plant, Pookie. Pine small. Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's not a problem. It is structural, but it will be knocked out quite quickly. So we don't really have that many structural plants. We got these. So cerumen, 3 types of, and then a bush, and a banana plant. Alocasia. Oops, which apparently we've now just stuck to the... No, we can delete that quite easily. Stuck to the side of the boat. We don't need that. So really, 2 plants and a banana. I mean, that's the start of a joke, isn't it? We'll take the banana plant. And then I'll throw him down there. Which is actually in the ground. That's kind of the important thing. You don't want floating trees or plants. That's how you know someone's been dragging stuff out of a toolbox. Train objects. Yeah, if you see a game, it's just like, these trees are floating. Looks like someone's just dragged it out of a toolbox. So I'll put that leaf, those 2 leaves underground. You won't see them anyway. I mean, I don't think these plants have jiggle physics. Do the trees have jiggle physics? I don't know. They don't jiggle in the editor. As in, when the wind blows, do the leaf sprites move around a little bit? I honestly can't remember. Without going back into the game, I don't know if we can work that one out. Aloe vera, yeah, I mean, aloe vera is one of those things that you can get away with putting quite a lot of on an island, and it doesn't look weird. It's also just a pretty plant that is different to all the others. Little desert succulent. Good. And I think keeping the idea that if you find a ficus tree, you should explore it. We should put in a food plant, which, well, there is a guava. Train objects, just so we haven't got anything selected, and then jam a guava down here. We're going to move it a little bit away. I have noticed that sometimes if you move it too close to something else, you can't pick the fruit off of it. Right, so we've got a bit of a gap here on this little island shady area. We could use it, well, we could keep it open for like building and things, or we could not, or we could just leave it. I mean, why would we do that? That one is quite a good little plant. Bearing in mind this will have grass and stuff over it. So that could go there as a structural plant, and then you could chop it down. So the player could come along, chop it down and turn it into sticks. Yeah, alright. Do I like that? It's an excellent question. Do you? I don't like it so close together, I don't think. Right. Let's move it back a bit. Forward. Just what works. What pleases the eye. To rotate. Let's move that over a little bit, because there's a lot of shade there, so it would be canted over just a bit. I think the problem is the ground just doesn't have any detail in it. So what we can do is remedy that with rock. Terrain objects, just a quick grab a big rock. Yeah, I think that's kind of what's missing. There's just no structure for this thing to be here. It's a hill on a essentially just a sandy beach. There's nothing to capture the dirt. So if you have a prevailing wind or just a storm or anything, the dirt's just going to get blown away. So you need a reason for the dirt to be there. And I think that's just what, it just doesn't feel like there was a reason for it to be there. Even just a sketch, just a few rocks around the outside just gives it that kind of feeling of belonging, which is good. So we'll go back to trees again, train objects, because we got a lot of objects. We don't want to drag something out, and sometimes you can drag something out and accidentally the game still has something selected, so you find you're moving 2 things at once. It's a weird bug. I think it's related to like the GUI. I don't want a banana plant so close to another banana plant, but I do feel we need something there just because we do. There we go. And it has selected the rock behind the banana plant. Yeah, you gotta keep an eye out for that. This will be covered in grass. We don't need to go too crazy with it. At the same time, I do like the idea of a dense wooded area. Alocasia. Yeah, I'll just move it slightly so it starts. Well, no, let's just force it. Rotate T down. Just make sure the leaves aren't clipped on anything. I don't think they are. Okay, cool. So we have stuff going on. The player should be able to get through that without too much difficulty. We hit up on objects and structures and door. Hello, door. Oh, I'm a player running through here. Yep, so the player can get through there. The banana plant's going to cause them problems, but I mean, just don't jump on a banana plant and you'll be fine. That is sage words for life in general. There we go. So we have a little island there. It's detailed. Let's hit objects so we don't actually brush something. We've added some stuff to the end of the beach, which is good. It's just a little patch, and I think that's basically what you do. We've started with a tiny island, which basically dictated how the rest of the island was going to look. It was a curious one. Why would you spend so much time on that? Well, because then we can move on to here, and it gives us an idea of how this is going to look. And then we move on to here, and then we move on to here and here. And it's like, oh, actually, we now have an area where players aren't going to get to, but we can dress up, which creates shadow. So we're playing with light and shadow, essentially. And then we have this here, which was just a blob on the beach. This beach is still very big and wide, and we are still going to need to put some stuff down here, like palm trees. And we are definitely going to have to keep an eye on how the tide is going to work on this bit here. Yeah, resources and palm trees. So we can put some more driftwood and things here. That would be quite good. But you know what? I might leave it there for the time being. We've done quite a lot. We have done quite a lot. And there's these visual paths you can see here on the beach. There's a big open area, and then there's a big open area here, and then these two areas that lead up to the ship. Yeah. It's all about creating paths this time, and I think I like what we've done. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there for the time being. If you're liking this, definitely leave a little like, leave a subscribe, and if you do subscribe, click the little bell, because that'll give you notifications when videos go live. And I tell you what, I'll catch you next time.